Well, good afternoon or good morning, depending on your time zone. We welcome you to this session of Integrity Data's Payroll User Group. We recognize your time is valuable and we thank you for joining us today for about 25 to 30 minutes. I am Keith Schmidt, ACA Specialist and Consultant here at Integrity Data. You may have on your task list to upgrade your GP 2013 R2 to a newer version. Today we are going to review some of the human resources and payroll new features for the GP 2015, 2016, and 2018 that may help you in the upgrade decision from the HR and payroll perspective. Of course, there is a lot of other driving forces in the upgrade decision process, besides just HRP. Maybe the decision to upgrade to a newer version has already been made, and you are wanting to know how you will be affected in the HR departments with regard to the new features that you'll be seeing after the upgrade. I will go through the key features that have been added to HRP. And for an in-depth demo, please contact your Microsoft GP partner. I am primarily going to just walk through the slide decks, showing bullet points of the features, several screenshots, etc. Before we dive into just a couple housekeeping items, the slide deck you're viewing today and a recording of this session will be provided to you by email. And we do have everybody on mute. Today we're going to be going through key features that have been added to the HR and payroll for GP 2015, 16, and 18. If you're upgrading from 2013 R2 to GP 2018, then all the features that you will see today will be available in GP 2018. Just a brief introduction about our company for those who may not be as familiar with Integrity Data. We're in more than 8,000 organizations worldwide that use our technology to improve their business process, specifically for payroll and HR, as well as the Affordable Care Act solution. We were also engaged by Microsoft to author the payroll and HR resources upgrades to their system known as Microsoft Dynamics GP. We were the original authors of core payroll extensions, which included overtime rate manager, deductions and arrears, and payroll integration to payables, which is in all of the payroll options. And then we also are part of the HRP extended pack for the PTO manager, advanced payroll, advanced HR, and benefit self-service. So Microsoft added new features in two key areas for HR and payroll for the GP 2015 version, and that involves in the two areas of self-service and workflow. So these four areas are, in terms of the self-service editions from GP 2015, they added basic time card information for GP 2013, but then they also added the employee profile, employee pay stubs, employee benefits, employee direct deposit, the employee W-4, and the employee skills and training. So if we walk through those, the employee profile allow your employees to change their employee information, add emergency contacts, dependents, and view their physician history. The employee pay stubs means there's no more printing of checks or earnings statements. Now your employees can view their paycheck information online. A nice addition here, Microsoft added pay period begin and end dates to the form and removed Social Security number, all based upon customer feedback to Microsoft. Employee benefits allow your employees to view their benefit information that will pull from payroll and human resource tables in Microsoft Dynamics GP. Benefit open enrollment process, benefit self-service, all part of the advanced human resources is also in Microsoft Dynamics 2015. Employee direct deposit. Your employees can view, change, and stop their direct deposit information. Also, a change to the core product Microsoft added up and down arrows, arrow buttons to this window, so it's easier to move the accounts around. No more re-entry. Yes, they did hear you. Employee W-4s. Your employee can change their federal tax information on this form and submit it for approval, and it has a history tracking. This is all now all Microsoft Dynamics GP user date driven. No more yearly install of the W-4 form. Yay, less work and less to remember at the year end. Your to-do list just got a little bit shorter. Employee skills and training. Employees can see and edit their education, tests, skills, training history information. We know this is going to be huge for our expiring dates and keep you on track of employee information. The other area is the added workflow information. Hang on just a second. Okay, in this area they added a pending approval navigation list for HR and payroll. These are workflows. Now some of these are overlap the features on the previous slide, but these are really workflows associated with some of those previous self-service features, I guess. So pending approval navigation list for HR and payroll. Dynamics GP 2015's HR and payroll pending approval navigation list create a one-stop spot for managers to view and approve changes to the employee records. HR managers can perform several tasks by checking a box and selecting an action to complete from one window. The preview pane displays task details, and there is a go-to option to view the assigned tasks. For the employee self-service pay stubs, 2015 allows employees to view or print their own pay stubs as needed. Pay stubs navigation lists are open through employee time management homepage. The employee can select one or more pay stub and print several at once. For the W-4 employee maintenance, employees are now allowed to view and adjust their current and historical W-4s and submit the changes to a workflow. From the employee time management homepage, the user can choose to update, their W-4. In the employee withholding certificate window, the employee can manage their information. When the changes are submitted, they will be routed automatically for management approval prior to updating the employee's record in GP. And lastly, the employee direct deposit window. The employee direct deposit workflow allows employees to start or stop their direct deposit, remove or add accounts, edit the direct deposit distribution. Changes to the record can be routed through the proper office for verification and simplified approval. So those are the key things in 2015. Those were big things, workflow, tasks, as well as the self-service required. It's just a big task for Microsoft to get that done. So let's look at the 2016 new features. Got some screenshots on this one, so there won't be as, you can sit there and gaze at the screenshots while I describe this a little bit. So payroll posting account setup enhancements. Now this is for 2016. Keep in mind all those things I talked about 2015, they're still there in 2016. So these are all additive. If you jump all the way to 2018, you'll get all these things. So here on this payroll posting accounts setup enhancements, they provided a new navigation list was added for 2016. It enhances the user's ability to view, sort, search, set up, and edit their payroll posting accounts. This has always been a little bit cumbersome in the past. This new payroll posting accounts navigation list is a great way to manage your payroll posting accounts. and allows the user to import and export their payroll posting account setup. For example, a user can export their setup, make changes in Excel, and then import those changes back into the system. Your payroll posting account information will now be displayed in a manner that can be filtered and searched upon. A little bit more on the payroll posting account setup enhancements, page 2, enhancements here. So clicking on the account button on the new section of the ribbon allows for you to enter a new account. Now the screenshot on the right is really about the Excel posting, which I'll get to in a second. But if you do select the new button, it will do the following on the left. It'll let you do that. So on the ribbon under under actions, there is an Excel button with a drop-down list to import or export Excel. That's on the right-hand side there. This will export all your posting accounts, allowing you to add or make changes and import back in. If you have a lot of posting accounts, export your current structure and use it as a template. Then you do not need to continually export those accounts. Just make changes to your Excel template and import it back in. The checkbox mark options are not used with the import-export functionality in the navigation list. So when importing back into the system, the Excel file will be scanned for errors and a report will be generated notifying you if there are any errors that need to be resolved, such as an account that does not exist in your setup. Okay, the next new feature is remove inactive pay codes from payroll transaction entry. So in Microsoft Dynamics 2016, you will now have the option to include or exclude inactive pay codes when looking up pay codes in the payroll transaction entry window for an employee. On the employee pay codes lookup window, if you click the blue ribbon, there will now be a drop down with the option to exclude inactive employee pay codes. By default, inactive pay codes will be listed in the employee pay code lookup window. So if you want to exclude inactive pay codes, if you want that to default instead of include them, if you want it to be the default setting, you must check the set as default view. Of course, keep in mind there are other windows that may use the same lookup window, like employee pay codes. So it will be set as the default in those other windows as well. Or you can just change it on the fly as you do a lookup if you need to. Another new feature for 2016, employee self-service side of things, the human resource attendance time available view, indicated there in red. You'll now be able to see human resources attendance balances for the employee on the time, in the employee self-service module here, for that employee on the time management tile, which is great since in versions previous to 2016, vacation and sick balances were only available for you to view if you were using the payroll to accrue versus HR to accrue. So what you need to do is you need to set accrue with human resources rather than payroll, and that's in the setup for attendance. The time management tile on your home page of the Microsoft Dynamics GP will display up to 5 tiles for the HR accruals time codes. These will be displayed in alphabetical order. Time codes balances will only show if print available time on payroll checks is marked in the employee attendance maintenance window. So the employee self-service, another new feature for 2016 is managers can view employee available time. You'll now be able to see the human resources attendance balances as a employee self-service employee or manager of those employees of your group on the preview pane of time card navigation. The current time cards and historic time cards navigation lists will now display the current balance for the first 5 active time codes for an employee in alphabetical order again in the preview pane. Time codes balances will only show if print available time on paychecks is checkbox is marked in the employee attendance maintenance window. This is a great feature for managers to use, when they are approving time, so they can easily view the balances for the human resources time codes without needing to open any other windows in GP. Okay, next we're going to look into the 2018 new features. So the first one we're going to look at is the ability to turn the garnishment detail and summary reports off when posting payroll. So these were a little bit of a nuisance. They just popped up, and now they've added those 2 reports also here in the posting setup window. So now you have the option to turn off the garnishment detail and the garnishment summary reports when posting payroll. These reports are generated when you have a garnishment in your payroll, and most people do. This should speed up the posting process for most of the customers who do not need to see these reports. Note that these reports will remain marked after upgrading. So when you upgrade, they're going to come back and be marked again. So you'll have to go back if you do an upgrade like the R2 year-end payroll process upgrade, etc. The garnishment reports should still print by default until they are unmarked in this window after that upgrade. The next one is option to roll down payroll setup options to inactive records. This is kind of a nifty new one. There may be instances where you want to make a change in the payroll setup options, but do not want inactive employees to be included. There's now an option to only roll down the changes for the active records instead of all of them. This feature will save time as the system will not have to update all of the inactive employees, which can be a lot of records after a long period of time. So this will also work with pay codes, deductions, or benefits, and the ability to roll those down, not just only pay codes as displayed here. You'll now see the options to roll the changes down for, all in the box there, all active records or all records over here, or none. If you choose active records, the inactive employees will not be included in these changes. Microsoft does get most of these from user requests, partner requests that get sent into Microsoft. So keep those requests rolling in, and they review and come up with features, both on the R2 version and the release to market versions. This one here is the option to modify department code in addition to pay codes, benefits, and deduction codes. So the payroll code modifier now has a 4th option under code type to change the payroll department code. Make sure there are no users in the company database before proceeding to click update after making the desired change to the department code. Any tables referencing the old code will now have the new code. Back 5-6 years ago, I created custom SQL code for a customer where we updated all the job codes or positions codes. At that time, there were 91 tables affected by that little customization that I did for that particular customer. Under the, of course, they don't have that in here now yet. You know, they're getting department, maybe they'll get position next time. Under HR and payroll, you point to utilities, and under then payroll, select the pay code modifier. That's where you can find this. This will open the window that you see displayed here. Another new feature is to restrict inactive records in your payroll master lookup for Windows. This new functionality has been added to the deductions lookup window, and that's the one that's displayed there. A little fuzzy, but it's displayed. To allow filtering to exclude inactive deduction codes. This allows the end user to view only active deductions when searching. This new filtering option is available within the following windows, not only this window here shown for deduction setup window, it's a setup window. It also works in the employee deduction maintenance window, as well as payroll transaction entry for employee transaction required where it is set to deductions. So in the payroll transaction entry window, you know, you can select deduction benefit, or the default is pay code. So in that drop-down list, you know, you can then display this particular ability to exclude inactive deduction codes also in that window. The next window is that's been added, or the next feature, I guess, that's been added in 28, is the reprint distribution detail and summary reports. Of course, we know on the left, you know, no, that's not true. I about misspoke, as the politicians would say here. You can now reprint distribution detail and summary reports. Okay, there on the left, the pre-posting reports, distribution detail and distribution summary that print when you are processing payroll by selecting, you know, tools, then click setup, choose posting, and then click posting, as this turns on the reports during the payroll processing. That's the left screenshot. So you can turn those on. But as you know, once you post payroll, you no longer, up till now, can see the data from these reports unless you have saved them to a file, which you can do. Microsoft GP 2018 now allows you to print these reports at any time under the reprint journals, as is illustrated there on the right-hand side. This will help with payroll processing, in your payroll processing activities there, of what happened during that specific payroll, and track down those pesky taxable wage reconciliation issues. So now you can get to those without having to go back to that report. Again, this is located by clicking reports, choose payroll, then click reprint journals. This information is for the techie people. This information is pulling from existing history tables. Check UPR 30100 and transaction UPR 30300 history, so you can start printing them for prior payrolls once you upgrade to GP 2018. Now, the last feature I'm going to illustrate today, or talk about today, is the addition to the advanced human resource, wellness and health insurance integration. Here you have to own the advanced human resources add-in for Microsoft to get this feature. So not everybody will necessarily have this, but lastly, with the complexity of tracking benefits for our employees, if an employee, as an example, is a non-smoker and your plan gives a discount for them being a non-smoker, you would like to track this in GP versus a separate spreadsheet. Or maybe if I go to the gym 10 times a month, over a month, I will receive a discount on my health insurance premium. You know, there are many ideas in your organization where you may want to track a discount on a benefit. Maybe it's related to classes an employee takes or certifications passed, whatever. It may be, you know that you have the capability of tracking the discount now in advanced human resource health and wellness windows, which will automatically change the employee deduction amount and track history of these changes in the system. So in the setup of the code, you can choose which benefits apply to this discount. Then when you assign it to the employee, you will enter the discount amount, which will change the total amount an employee pays. For example, if I have a family coverage plan assigned to Pyler at $50 per pay period, and Pyler has the gym code assigned to him, you can see how the code is reduced by the discounted amount. This information is stored in the following tables for the tech people: EHW 2020, EHW 3020, and EHW 4020 tables. The system will also keep history of this information for you. And it's a key with benefit tracking. Okay, so integrity data. I hope this was useful information. And hang on, we got a couple of things to go over yet. I want to make sure you understand at the end the credits where I got this information. It's no magic bullet here, but we'll discuss. We'll show you where you get that, and you can get a lot more information about this also from your partner as well as from Microsoft itself. So integrity data resources as integrity data as a company. We have blogs, videos, customer stories. We have a solution finder. You can check the return on investment, download software, download documentation here at Integrity. We offer all kinds of ACA compliance and reporting, as well as payroll processing solutions, payroll accounting solutions, benefits management, and payroll productivity solutions. We also do tailor-made solutions in terms of customizations. And we like to think we have stellar support and raving fans of our support department and our company. Of course, I want to thank you. Here is my information. If you need to contact me about any future information, or if you're interested in any of our products or more information, you can, there's this data, and remind you that we do send out this recording that I'm doing for this webinar, as well as the slide deck. So at the end of the slide deck, all this information that I got today is, you know, from the Microsoft Dynamics GP 2015 new feature blog series for, you know, each of the series, as well as slide 7 I got from Go ERP Cloud at Microsoft. So this is all Microsoft information that I went over today, just kind of organized it into one slide. Hopefully you gained something from this. I appreciate very much that you attended our webinar day and took time out to participate, and hopefully you picked up some information and learned something today. And thank you again for attending, and we'll see you in 3 months for our next payroll user group, which we will be sending out emails prior to that time as to what the topic will be. If you have topic suggestions, please email me at kschmidt, KSCHMIDT at integrity-data.com. If you want somebody to be on or off your list to get this information, you can email Lindy Belay, that's LBELLEY at integrity-data.com. I thank you very much for your time, and we'll see you in 3 months.